Hello, this is the Kenyan Siasa. I am your host, Bali Yodanadawa. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, how days flies. Imagine it's just the other season that we were engaged in the 2022 general elections, a contest between the Azimio faction and the Kenya Kwanza faction. Days have gone, months have passed, years have gone, and right now, where we are, there is already an aroma of the 2027 general elections in the atmosphere. Folks, anyone who is serious about reaping something coherent in the 2027 general elections right now should be in a beehive super activity in their armory, polishing their arsenal that will be used in the contest for the 2027 general elections various posts. On Friday, the 26th, the immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta led the Jubilee Party in their National Delegates Convention. In this NDC, President Uhuru Kenyatta gave a landmark address. And therefore, in this episode, we are giving you a recap of what took place in the NDC of Jubilee Party that took place on 26th of this month, Friday. Uhuru Kenyatta commenced by reflecting on the journey of resilience that the Jubilee Party has gone through in the midst of turbulence in their voyage. President Uhuru Kenyatta reminded us of several incidences in the year 2023 whereby there was an attempt by the presidency, President William Ruto and his UDA, to use some of the members of Jubilee Party to stage a coup, to snatch the party from its rightful owners so that it could be swallowed by the UDA party. However, they stood their ground, they fought the war, and ultimately, they regained their party. You can remember very well, one Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, right now an MP in the East African legislature, were greatly used to undermine the party, to stage a coup within the party around the year 2023. And therefore, the immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta reflected on the journey of resilience that the party of Jubilee has gone through. And despite the challenges that they've encountered, they've stood their ground and they still have their party intact. And he thanked the delegates for standing in solidarity during the moments of trial, during the times of need for the party. And again, the immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta highlighted the success that the party achieved in the regime that he was the president of Kenya. He highlighted that with regards to infrastructure, road connectivity, rural electrification, the Jubilee Party the Jubilee Party did a tremendous job. That the connectivity, for example, with regards to electricity and even roads, what the Jubilee Party did in a period of 10 years surpasses the previous regimes combined. And therefore, it was a moment of basking in their former glory, reminiscing the glory with regards to good leadership that they gave the country during his regime. He also, on the other side, admitted some of the failures that the party encountered during his regime, like high-profile cases of corruption. The immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta also reminded us the way he warned Kenyans against voting President William Ruto. He reminded us that he was very clear that the current president, President William Ruto, was not a person who was fit to lead this country. However, his warnings fell on deaf ears. And right now, it did. People can attest to the fact that he was right. These were the words of the immediate former president. He said that life has become hard, and he gave an example of several projects that Uhuru Kenyatta developed several projects that were very beneficial to the common mwananchi and had greatly transformed the livelihoods of Kenyans. For example, the Linda Mama program that reduced to a great deal maternal mortality and the general health well-being of mother and child that right now has been revoked by the current regime and replaced by other schemes, other modalities that Uhuru Kenyatta, described as experiments, schemes that haven't been tried, haven't been tested, and they have failed a great deal. And indeed, the Kenyans are suffering. He also gave an example of the SHA scheme that has replaced the NHIF, which he claims that to a great extent has failed Kenyans, and Kenyans are suffering. He just gave some of these examples as the reasons as to why he indeed warned Kenyans in the year 2022 not to vote for President William Ruto. Indeed, the immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta viciously attacked the current president in his address. And finally, Uhuru Kenyatta said that the clarion call of the NDC that took place on Friday was to inject invigoration, rejuvenation, revitalization, a renaissance, a rebirth in the party of Jubilee. And that Jubilee is going to be vibrant. Right now, he personally will take the mandate of visiting the mashinani, grassroots, to rebuild, to first lift a new, strong Jubilee party as we head towards the 2027 general elections. And the immediate former president, Uhuru Kenyatta, was very categorical that the Jubilee party will actively participate in the 2027 general elections, and they'll field candidates from MCS, MPs, women rep, senator, governor, and even the presidential candidate. And based on the tone that Uhuru Kenyatta set, it was clear that he is on a mission right now to see to it that President William Ruto is sent packing in the 2027 general elections. The folks of the Kenyan Siasa will reach the halt of this episode. For those of you who are subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we are humbled, we are glad, thank you. And for those of you who are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we beseech you to show some love by subscribing, then hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload content. Until next time, I'm Jubilee, Udawa and Adawa. Bye-bye.